Hey guys, it's Izzy from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Today I'm going to be making a Valentine's gift for myself, and I encourage you to do the same. Today we're going to be talking about self-care and self-love. So what I've started off doing is grab a piece of paper, just random piece of paper. You can even use paper from, your sketchbooks or any notebooks you have for school. And what I did is I drew a heart in the middle, and I'm going to draw some lines towards it. And then after you draw the lines towards it, you're going to start making dots. And they don't have to be evenly spaced or anything. You just kind of make them on the line anywhere. Maybe make them a little bit random. Put some really close together. Put some like really far apart. And this is what it should look like. And then what you're going to do with these lines is you're just going to make little bubbles connecting them. Kind of like that. But you're going to do it over and over again until it fills the page. So I'm going to keep going with that. And I'll show you in a second. Okay, so this is what I've gotten so far. We're just working on making bubbles, and what you're going to do is you are going to add to it. So you're going to keep making those lines over and over again, and you can even add more lines kind of in between. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so I've made more lines connecting from these and making more dots. I'm going to do the same beveling on all of the lines. So I'm just going to do that now. Alright, so this is what I have so far, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep adding more lines to the lines that I already have. So just by going over it over and over again, just kind of like that. And I'm going to start using different colors as well. So this is what I've got so far. As you can see, my original line is right here, and you can see the dots in the middle, and I've just made kind of like bubbles over top of the line to keep going with it. And I'm also not going in through the heart. I'm kind of leaving the heart as if it's in the foreground. I guess, yeah, the foreground, like in the front of the picture, and everything else is behind it. And I'm just kind of adding lines wherever they fit. I'm not too worried about if they all go through and they all connect. If they need to stop somewhere, they'll just stop. Like kind of like this line here. It just kind of goes in and stops right there. Almost like it's in behind this one. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to add more lines in here too with the lines and more bubbles. And I'm just going to keep making bubbles until it completely fills up my page. So it takes some time and patience, but eventually you'll have your whole page covered. And I basically just did the same technique over and over again, where I just added more lines and more dots and bubbled them. I just added extra lines to fill in the blank space. Now what I'm going to do is take another marker, maybe the opposite of this color. So I used a purple, so I'm probably going to use like a light orange to write things that I like about myself all over the paper, just kind of all the way down and around. So I'm going to start doing that now. Alright, so I'm basically writing things that I like about myself, and they don't have to be big things either. They don't have to be like, oh, I'm a millionaire, or I don't know, I think I'm the coolest person in the world. It's just things that I think are good qualities in myself. So I first started with just saying I love myself, and then I'm smart, pretty, funny, strong, I try hard, stuff like that. So even just something that you think that you like about yourself, that you think other people might like in you as a friend. I think it's important to talk to ourselves positively, especially right now. Right now we're going through a lot of stress with everything that's going on, and I know school can't be hard, or it can't be easy for anyone. So sometimes it's just good to take a minute and think about ourselves and think about what makes us fun to be with and what makes us like us. So that's what I'm writing, and I'm going to think of some more things, and I'm basically going to fill the page, except I'm going to keep this heart shape blank. So the point of this exercise is to fill the entire page with things that you like about yourself. Now it can be really hard sometimes because we're not used to thinking about ourselves in that way. Maybe we're told that it's not good to think about ourselves positively and say nice things to ourselves. And that's not okay. We want to be able to think nice things about ourselves. And I kind of got stuck halfway through because it's a lot of words you have to write down, right? And so I started saying what I like to do and what makes me kind of a good friend and what I think. And I started writing that, I'm nice to people, right? I say, oh, I can forgive someone when they've made a mistake. I can forgive myself when I've made a mistake. I'm nice to animals. I'm nice to my friends. I can be patient, or I try to be patient. Sometimes it's about the effort, right? Ever heard that? Where it's the thought that counts. So you want to make sure that you're not just writing stuff like, I like my hair. I mean, you can, and it's easy to say that, and maybe you do like your hair. I ended up writing at the beginning, I like my hair. I like certain things about myself, and that's okay to admit. But it's also good to think about how others perceive you in positive ways. Because I think we get caught up in thinking about how others think about us in negative ways, and that can really do some harm to our brain. And we want to make sure that we're good to our brain because it does so much for us, right? We're able to do math. Maybe you're not the best at math, but you still try. And if you don't try, you can say, I want to try. I want to try and be good at something. Or I know that maybe I'm not the best at, I don't know, I can't skate. But if skating makes other people happy, and I want to try it sometimes, there's no point in me saying, oh, I'm not good at skating, so I'll never try skating ever again. You know, you have to give and take sometimes, and doing things that make you happy, but also setting boundaries for yourself and making sure that you know what you like and you know what you don't like. But it's okay to try, and it's okay to change your mind. So always give yourself a chance and try things every now and again, even if you're not sure if you like it. But maybe you do. Maybe it's like trying new food. You know, you ever parents ever tell you, oh, you didn't like broccoli as a kid, but now you love it. Or maybe you don't like broccoli now, but they say, oh, when you're older, that'll change. You'll like broccoli when you're older. Maybe you'll never like broccoli, but you would never know unless you try, right? Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in some of my bubbles with different colors. So I'm basically going to go over the words. The words are there just to kind of, you know that they're there. You know that they're underneath, and you know that you're capable of filling up a whole page of things that you like about yourself. And now you're going to color it and make it beautiful. And again, we're going to keep this heart blank. So grab some other colors. I'm trying to keep like a nice warm toned palette. So I've got purples here. I might use pink. I might use red. And I'm going to color in the different bubbles. Everything different color. So it can take some time, but we'll get there. Alright, this is what I have done so far. I just took a darker colored marker and went in the lines that I already put down. And I'm just doing it in no real pattern, kind of just putting them randomly. I realized over here, I think it was over here, or it was over here, I think, this corner. I don't like them side by side together, so I'm trying to disperse my colors so they're not touching each other, like right next to each other, if that makes sense. And now I'm going to grab a different color and do the same thing and just color in the little bubbles that I have and not coloring the heart. Alright, so I've added some darker orange to my picture, and again, just not putting them directly right next to each other, I think really adds kind of a nice break in it. And I'm going to add some more darker colors, and what I like is that through the purple you can actually see some of my words that I've written down, and I think that looks really cool. So I'm going to keep going with it, and I think I'm going to use a blue or something next. And I'm just going to take my time and really enjoy coloring in the lines. And you don't have to color in the lines, which is why I like this so much. It's a little messy, so if you mess up, you kind of really can't tell, as long as you're going with the flow of your line. So I'm not coloring like against it, I'm kind of coloring with it. It's gonna look good. Alright, so I pretty much added a lot of color in. I just have a few more white spots to fill in, and then we're gonna start working on the heart. Basically, it takes a little bit of time. I don't know how long it's taking me so far, but I like it. I like spending time with my family. We're kind of just all doing crafts right now together, so it's just a nice time. And maybe you can just over Zoom with your friends or over Teams and have just a nice talk. I mean, I think it's good to have friends that encourage each other to love themselves, right? You want your friends to be happy just like they want you to be happy. And spending time with them and doing crafts or making something can often feel really therapeutic and productive. And that's why I like doing crafts the most. Not everyone likes crafts though, so obviously if you like them, do them. And if you don't like them, maybe try and find other ways. And I think that's what I'm going to try and explore most, is different ways that we can make ourselves feel good and just spend time with ourselves. So I have finished my coloring on the outside. Pretty much you can see all the little spots. And if you see white, you don't want white, you can just fill that in. I think I'm just going to go with a light marker and fill in all the little spots that are white and showing. And inside the heart, what I'm going to do is, and you can do it as well, it's up to you though, I'm going to write promises to myself. You know, I promise to forgive myself when I make mistakes. I promise to try, even if I don't really want to do it, you know? Maybe like washing the dishes. Ugh, I don't want to do the dishes, but I'll do them. You know, things that you know that you need to do to take care of yourself. I promise to brush my teeth. Something like that, like a routine every day to make sure that you're staying on top of your physical health and your mental health. Maybe you make a promise to write in your journal, or to draw, or to think when you're sad, why you're sad, and maybe do things that make you happy. So in the heart, I wrote, I promise to try. I promise to forgive myself when I make a mistake. And I promise to love myself. And if you can see that there, I even made a mistake while I was writing it. But I'm going to forgive myself. I'm not going to try and correct it. I'm going to keep the mistake in there because I think it's important to see where you grow and where you learn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep writing in different colors, pretty much the same thing over and over again. So now I'm going to pick a different color out and write the same thing out over top of it. All right, and I'm done with my artwork, my piece. Basically, I don't really love this part in the middle. I don't like the colors that I used, but that's okay. You can always go over it and try it again, or you can keep it and say, you know what, I can learn from this and try it again next time and do different things. I think the important thing is that you take the time to think about what makes you happy and what you like about yourself, what makes you a good friend. I think it's good to think positively about ourselves. Especially with so much going on in this world that can be really negative, and it can be really hard and to look for light, and it's really easy to get trapped in like a negative headspace or in the dark. And I think it's really important to make goals for yourself, to set some goals for yourself, which is kind of where this heart is. You're making a promise to yourself to try and do something, or to think differently, to change something, and that's not easy, and it takes time. But I think as long as we acknowledge that, we can get through it together. See, I made a mistake, but I'm gonna keep that in there because I think it's important. Anyways, I hope you guys had fun coloring today. Again, you can do this with your friends at home, use this with your family. This is really hard on everyone right now, what's going on in the world, and maybe even just hard at school. It doesn't have to be a global pandemic for you to be stressed, right? You can be stressed because of anything, because you're not good at math and you have a math assignment, or because, oh, I really don't like gym class, but I have to go run the 5 mile, right, or 5K. There's lots of reasons you can be stressed, and sometimes they're serious and sometimes they're not so serious, but your body doesn't know what's serious and what's not. It just kind of takes everything as a threat. So sometimes it's good to take a deep breath and think positively about ourselves and take the time to love ourselves. So I hope you did that today, and I hope you have a great day and continue to think positively and say, I'm proud of myself, or I love myself. Anyways, take care. Goodbye.